All right, welcome back to Baer Welding. We are super excited to be playing with our new piece of equipment, the Robo Rail. We got the technicians here. They've been putting this together for the last week. We had to rearrange our entire shop, move tables, move equipment, set up a lot of electrical. It's not just getting the machine here. There's a lot of legwork that has to happen with airlines, electricity. We had to put in a transformer to have power to this bad boy. But now all that's done, it's in. Now we're trying to learn this piece of equipment. There's a lot of steps with this. There's the drawing aspect, so learning how to draw in 3D, but also learning all the tool paths and learning how to get the part cut. There's a lot of features in there that we have to be cautious of to make sure that we don't crash the robotic arm inside here. There's also a lot of features with all these different clamps. All of our fixtures, depending on what material we're using, whether it's pipe, channel, angle iron, or tube, we have to get creative on those different sizes with all this different clamps and fixtures to make it so it holds on and secures itself. So that's been a big learning curve as well. We've learned a lot. It's a steep learning curve for all of us. We're getting there. We're learning some boundaries or parameters that this machine will do and what maybe it can't do. There's a lot to learn, and we'll keep rolling with it. So here at Baer Welding, we're a miscellaneous fab shop, and there is so much on what that means. I mean, we build anything from custom handrail to staircases to custom shelving, like bookshelves, brackets, and everything in between. Custom hood ranges. There's anything that's custom made, we like to get our hands dirty and get our fill of it. This machine is going to help implement some speed, some accuracy, and to help make some of these custom processes and projects maybe a little easier, a little faster, and a lot more accurate. It takes a lot of the skilled labor out of things. This machine will actually take your part and it will rotate it 360 degrees. It will cut 4 sides of like a square tubing. Where if we're coping pipe, it will cope on one end, it can take that pipe, flip it 90 degrees and cope the other end of it and then cut it to length. When before we had to use a manual coper, and we would try to eyeball and trying to line up, and we always seemed like we would get gaps in different things. It just wasn't as precise and as accurate as we wanted. This should take a lot of that guesswork out of it. The project that we have chose to work on is these rocket stoves. We've seen them online. I'm sure you guys seen a bunch of these. We've never made one before, and we couldn't think of a better way to get our feet wet with this Robo Rail than to try and build something cool, something a little practical that we can use as one of these rocket stoves. So this is our little napkin drawing of what we're trying to make with our rocket stove. We got the base here. That's going to be the draft. This section right here is where you're actually going to feed either the charcoal or the wood or both. And this is the chimney, and at the top here is where all the heat's going to escape, and it's going to either boil your water, cook your food, or stay warm, or whatever you want to do. But these different parts is what we're going to try and make. I plan on cooking a steak at lunch with this thing, so hopefully we get it accurate. I would say if we were going to do this manually and having to use cutoff wheels and different things, I mean, I don't know, it could be a couple-hour project, I would say, to try and line up all these miters and trying to get all the orientation and stuff right, where this is just going to cut it out in minutes. It's pretty accurate. There's a little cleanup to be done because it is a Plaz. There's a little bit of dross and different things that we have to clean up. We'll send you to the GoPro and we'll show you guys how this is actually being cut. So this table is designed to come in underneath this curtain. It knows and is timed for when the part is being cut off. It lands on this table and then it will retract and come back so you can grab it, label it, set it on the pallet, and then when it knows that it's about ready to drop another piece, it goes back in to pick up the next part that's going to drop. But sometimes she falls in the scrap bin. And this guy right here This is the part that you actually feed the wood or the charcoal in. So we got the draft here, it goes along the bottom like this. Then this part will have a double miter put on it, and I might have to manually cut that other one. And then this guy goes like that. So you got the draft, and this will have a flap on it that you can adjust for airflow. The cooking top will be right here for the stove, and then this guy right here will nest in, and this will be where you feed the wood in. Took minutes to cut this. Pretty remarkable, really, the way it rotated it and cut it to length and all of that. I mean, you can really speed up production with accuracy with a machine like this.
All right, guys, so as you can see, the robo rail cut out our rocket stove parts. So now all we gotta do is just trim them up a little bit, make them look pretty. You gotta finish the 45 on this, and it's pretty much just ready to go. I mean, all the robo rail did all the heavy lifting. The DIY kit, you just gotta put it together yourself. So the reason I have to finish this off is because that robo rail can't do it yet. Keyword yet. The programmers have to add this in so that we can do another cut the other way. So we can do a lot more other stuff as well. I mean, they're adding more stuff probably daily to that thing. That's kind of the cool part about it. You kind of buy a gift that keeps on giving. Here we have Lucas Stott. You guys will get to know everyone here at the shop. We have a big crew. I think you'll be pleased to meet them. A lot of cool characters around here. This machine is wonderful for doing structural parts. But the only downside of this is you have to load it by yourself, make your measurements, hope you didn't mark wrong, then offload it. The nice thing about the RoboRail, you enter your measurement on the keyboard, already knows what it does it perfectly every single time. Already offloads it for you, you just put it on a pallet, send it off its way. Loading it is super easier. I'd rather run the RoboRail any day. The tools I'm learning on, I mean, I've only been like a fabricator for about 2 years, and it's nice to learn with this stuff and grow with it rather than, it's like the old saying, an old dog can't learn new tricks. That's kind of true. So like if I'm growing up with this stuff and learning this stuff, I'll know how to operate it better, more efficiently, which is pretty much better for the business and better for everybody around us as well. Makes me more valuable because, I don't know, maybe not a lot of people know how to run a RoboRail or a CNC machine or a pipe bender. Yeah, in turn it makes me more valuable and I know more stuff. Just makes my day easier as well. Welcome to my desk. As you can see, it's not the cleanest, but a clean fabricator is a bad fabricator. He's not building anything. We're just clearing space to make it. Got blueprints and whatnot. This is just a little homework project. I mean, what I was doing before, I was making guardrails. You can come over and take a look at them. This one right here goes over a crazy ledge. So those 290 degrees were fun to make and inspect that weld. These things are huge. I mean, when I first saw them, I'm like, we're really doing these? They're pretty cool to see them in action and how we plasma them out and how we weld the base plate on. It's a process, it's cool to see. So I'm just gonna prep it for weld real quick. Just grind away the slag. If you weld on slag, you'll get porosity. Just gotta clean it real quick. We'll tack it up to give you an idea what it's gonna look like. Then we'll weld it, grind it clean. Looks beautiful. I always wear a bandana. I used to wear welding caps, but bandana supremacy. I'll die on that hill. I'm not gonna bore you with these 1,000 steps I'm gonna take. Just enjoy this montage, sit back and relax.
Well, now I guess I had to put my safety glasses on, huh? Better be safe. Of course, they're all in the dang truck, so you're gonna go safety glassesless. All right, so yeah, I'm Gavin, AKA Redbeard. Just been up to working at the lately. We got some work coming in on that one. We got to modify some angle irons. Comes in, sticks off the edge of the concrete, but it's too wide, so we got to strip an edge down, make it all nice and pretty, make it line up, and call it good. This is kind of my house. Yeah, it's a big old mess, obviously. Got crap everywhere, but I'm out in the field a lot. And then you got to have the flag, you know. Got to have this one here. Brought that from home. Yeah, this is about where all the magic happens, as much as I can at least. So we got this new machine, this new RoboRail. Granted, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a time saver. The downside to it, though, is you got to look at the space in the shop. Where before I had this big area where I could build a 40-foot long set of stairs and I'd have plenty of room to do it and the cranes that could reach full side. And now I don't, because the machine took up so much floor space that it pushes everything over to where I was doing everything. Now the new challenge is finding a spot where to still get everything built, still get it done correctly, and according to print, and make our customer happy. So every day is a challenge, and every day we find something new to get it done correctly. Don't let Luke run you over in the forklift. Funny story about Luke. The door was closing down one day and he wasn't paying attention. When he walked in, it smacked his head right on the door. All right, so here's our truck that we just got back from. And there's the angles that we're putting in on the landings. We had a stitch, weld stitch laid out. So weld stitch is a certain amount of stitch every certain distance, 2-3 feet. This is called a 2-on-12, so every foot there's 2 inches worth of weld. But we have to cut it out to change it because this is the one that's not supposed to be 2 inches on each side. So we got to get a mark up here and a string line and trace out a line and strip that down to the dimensions that the customer is requiring to make all the clearances. Got to do that with both of these. One of them's, well, they're both about 10 foot long, so it'll take a minute to get done. Well, we've got some nice weather today. It's a little bit cooler than it's been the last couple days, and when you spend time in some job sites that are heated, it gets real warm because they don't really control the temperature. It's just, let's go as hot as we can. So when you finally get a step outside and you get a little bit of cloud cover and a little bit of chill, it feels very, very good, really refreshing. But then you go back to the shop into all the noise and all the sparks and it starts all over again. Hey, Mike. Dynamite. So that's what we're doing today.
What are you up to for break?
What am I doing for break? It's a good question. I don't know. I haven't really thought about that yet. I'll probably go eat a protein bar and sit and watch YouTube for a minute. Maybe watch some Larry Wheels deadlifting.
What's that?
He's just a power lifter.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
It's fun to watch.
Right on. Have
He
a
gets
good
all
break.
crazy. Oh, yeah. I will. Thanks. You too.
Do you know what a rocket stove is?
Rocket stove.
Yeah.
No idea.
All right, when we get it built, we'll show it to you.
Okay.
But Dave here, he's like I mentioned earlier, he's a no BS type of guy. He's very square. He's very
Sharp.
very sharp guy. No nonsense.
All right, Dave.
Trustworthy. If we need something done right, we get Dave involved, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always.
I heard you're getting a Corvette.
It's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while.
But goals, right?
Yep. Goals. That's just personal goals. So it's got nothing to do with the company. So
How was your break?
brief as always.
What did you do on your break? What did you watch?
Oh, just Facebook videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
That's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You wish breaks were an hour long?
Yeah. That'll make the day go by really, really slow.
Do you wish we'd get off at 8 o'clock at night?
Yeah, as long as we can. I don't know. Maybe come in at high noon.
High noon to 8.
Yep.
All right. Dave, what would be your favorite machine to operate? I think we've asked you that before, but remind me.
The mill machine.
Was this one of them you watched?
Yeah.
Boom! Yeah, he got trucked.
Boss man just walked in. Brian, would you ever imagine we'd have a piece of machinery like this where 10 years ago we'd be standing in a horse pasture?
Well, first of all, when we built this building 10 years ago, I thought there's no way we'd ever fill it, but
Yeah, I remember.
now we're looking for more space. Now we wish it was double the size. So no, it's been quite an evolution of kind of implementing this automation.
Yeah.
From the layout table to our pipe bender, our mill to this. So this is just the next step. So hopefully more steps to come.
I mean, even our seems simple now and basic, but even our CNC plasma machine over there was a big game changer when we got that. So it's been good. It's been evolving. So before we had like our automated layout table, we'd be drawing rails, fence panels, slopes, everything on the ground with chalk lines. So you'd spend 2 or 3 hours snapping chalk lines. Then at night we'd pull in trucks, people would walk over it, erase your lines so it seemed like you were always going back, re-snapping lines, and it always seemed like things were a little bit out of square, out of skew a little bit. It just wasn't quite perfect, and we always made it work, but it wasn't near as accurate as it is now either.
I think we had talented fabricators that knew layout and could do good layout, but you still have human error. And so the biggest impact that table made was our efficiency went up and our error rate went way down, almost to nothing. So That was big.
I remember when we bought our first draw bender. We had a really old one that was old even when I started 17 years ago. And we bought a new draw bender that had better dies. It was simpler to use. And that thing now is a dinosaur. So I remember our very first Plaz table. It was a small 4x4. We kind of very entry level. Didn't have water or anything to help with the smoke, so it'd get super smoky where we had it. A lot of our saws and equipment like that were pretty old. I think there was still some chop saws around when we were cutting miters. It was just very basic hand tools and means and methods to get things done. So I feel like I don't even work for the same company anymore because it's not at all. Same people, same culture, but different surrounding, different buildings, different equipment. I feel like it's
evolved.
It's evolved to a new company, and it has.
Yeah.
I don't work for the same company when I started. I just don't. So
And the cool part about that too is he's evolved as the company's evolved. So from a 18-year-old high school graduate
very
to now a dad of
four. Yeah.
And
life's changed a lot.
but has embraced all of the changes and the new technology and the evolution of our processes, both in shop and in the office, and communication with people. So any successful business has to evolve with times, and because of guys like him, we've been able to make it go, and we have many others too. I mean, Garrett's been here for a similar amount of time.
Yeah.
Danny's been here for a long time.
That's right.
Trent's now been here for a long time. So we got several guys that have been here 12, 15, 17, going on 20 years, which I think says a lot about the type of people that we have and our company culture. We enjoy working with each other. It's it makes it fun to come to work.
Just work. Stuff here, making sure I drink my dues. I'm dragging some angle iron out of the rack.
All right, I'm coming with.
Oh, well, let me get my lift.
You're the one that's always leaving cans.
What are you talking about? Well, we're just got to pull some material out just to work on the. Now, this is our miscellaneous metal. So there's a lot of everything and hardly anything that I actually need. So I gotta pull out this whole chunk of stuff. We just need some final touches here out in the yard, and it's perfect. Oh, there we go. Well, I know for a fact that I got the one that I needed. The 6x4x1/2, which is this one right here. We got it. We're good. The best forklift driver around. If anyone would like to challenge me, it's an open challenge day, but I go home at 5, so you got about 2 hours.
How was break?
It was good. I enjoyed it. It's relaxing. What am I up to now?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find some sawhorses so I can rip down some angle for the. I was just gonna head over there to see if I could find some sawhorses kicking around in the mix of that stuff. Oh, really? Oh, sure. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
And he gave you a marker?
Yeah, he gave me a pretty little blue marker. It's like we got some right here. I might see if I can steal these. I guess I'm gonna go ask Levi real quick if I can steal his sawhorses. Hey, Levi. Yo, little sick. You mind if I steal those sawhorses for a minute? Cool, I'll just set those on the table. Cool, thanks, man. Oh yeah, there's been a lot of sicknesses and ailments and whatnot going around the shop lately. So I'm trying to be a little extra cautious about that. Because, lost time is no good. So now I gotta find a cord. That might be a little bit of a hunt.
That's always hard.
Oh, there's one right there. I might steal this one. I've been welding for, I think this is my 13th year now. So yeah, it's been a little while. Been around the block a little bit, I guess. Yeah, these are the angles. I just got to rip these down. So that one side is about 1.5 inches on this side. From this corner out will be about 1.5 inches. And then you got to rip it down to where it's straight all the way down to where it's about 1 5/8 inches on this side.
They don't make that at the store.
No, it's definitely custom. Because the stringer we got to put it on, we got to kind of extend it out a little bit, and it's not quite square, so we got to make it square.
All right, so right now we got to do a little bit of maintenance on our new overhead crane, our new jib crane that we got. We set it up the other day. We finally got the power up to it, but now we're having issues with the power wire of staying where we need it to go when we run the machine. It needs to be able to reach both ways. We got to come down just a little bit. It's got to be able to reach both ways. Right now, it comes up and our cord runs out. We got a good stop. We still have a little bit of slack to it. And then when we go back the other way, it will curl up on itself a little bit, and that's fine as long as it stays out of the track. We just got to find some creative ways to tie it up so it doesn't get caught in the machine, kind of like that. All right, we're good. All right, so we've got plenty of slack. It's just coming back and finding the tie-off spots to make this thing work without any catch and make sure Danny can flip his rails without hurting anybody or causing any damage. I am a little bit of a MacGyver. I don't consider myself a maintenance guy by any means, but I've been around enough guys that I can get some stuff done. It might not be the best way, and it might not be the right way, because everybody's got their own opinions on right way. But for me, as long as it's fast and it's right and it works, go for it. Like, there's more than one way to get something done. Got a tattoo from my old man. He was in the services. He was in the 3rd Armored Division as a mortarman, and his medals were normally, these little add-ons were weapons that you've mastered. He had the recoilless rifle, the rifle, and the mortar, but I changed it to my hero, my friend, my dad. I've got a few of them, but here's the catch right here. If it keeps wanting to tuck underneath here and catch on this pin, as it keeps pulling out, it's just going to yank that cord out of the wall. So I got to find some way to keep it up right here. Like, I can't zip tie it up to this because that has to move separate of the trolley, and that's too tight right there. So I can't zip tie it there. It's just going to be a lot of back and forth and see how the cord's going to react and where it can hang down and where it can clear, and fun stuff. All part of the daily life here at the coal mine. Yeah, that's on a Zoolander. If you guys haven't seen that, the movie's Zoolander. Goes back to go work with his pop and his family, and they work in a coal mine. And he comes down there and he's all covered in the soot and gets all cleaned up and goes to meet everybody after work, and I can't do it, Dad. I gotta quit. He's like, it's only been one day. Tried doing it for 30 years. Anyway, classic movie. We use that line quite a bit here.
All right, so now guys, I weld up the seams right here. I just gotta do the finishing touches right here and just grind them up, make them look smooth and pretty. Already started on this side. Kind of round that off. Ready for flaps. Make a grid up here so you can hold your pan. Make a little ashtray. So you got ashes, throw them out, start anew. We're almost there. So we're gonna cook a ribeye on there with like a ½ pound of butter. The more the merrier.
I'm Danielle, Baer Welding Company. Our new robo rail is pretty cool. It's gonna improve our efficiency by about 95%. It's amazing. The amount of parts that can be processed with this during one day is incredible. Ultimately, what we're looking at here is something that might have taken us 8 hours to process before is gonna take us 15 minutes. Pretty amazing.
Okay, so Eric here is the lead installer for the Robo Rail. He came all the way from Texas to meet us in Utah. He's never been to Utah before, which is awesome for him to have this opportunity to see some snowy mountains. Eric, tell us about what it was like to set up this Robo Rail here in Providence, Utah.
It was great. It's beautiful here. Came into the shop. It was a smooth ride. Took about 3 days to install, and about another 3 days of training so far.
It seemed like we had the power outlets in the right spot for you. The air hookups were all good.
Oh yeah, everything was perfect. Perfectly placed.
Eric, why don't you tell us your favorite part of the Robo Rail? I haven't heard that from you. And what did you think of our creativity? Did we blow you away?
Yeah, this is interesting. Never seen this done before. So it's nice to see the Robo Rail getting pushed to its limits.
Have you ever seen anybody cut out a rocket stove on a robo rail?
I have not. That was also a first for me.
Okay, good. Good. So, Eric, what is this machine great at? What is its sweet spot? What does it love to cut, handle? What does it love to do?
Well, as you can see, it cuts pipe all day.
Cutting this cope here and then rotating it 90 and cutting this cope here and having them be offset 90 degrees perfectly is a game changer, and putting a through hole. That's what I am most excited about is this. Okay, Eric, so how many robo rails have you installed and how many have been sold? Nationwide, global? Do you have any idea on those numbers?
I don't know the numbers of how many have been sold. I myself have installed 2 where I've led it. This is my 3.
Okay.
This is my 3rd install that I've led. And altogether, I think it's about 10 robo rails. The Baer Welding guys have been great. They're awesome guys. I love working with them. And hopefully I'll be able to come back, not on a bad note. Hopefully the machine's still working properly.
He's gonna come back and go snowmobiling.
Oh yeah, definitely need to do that.
Compared to other shops and other employees you've trained, how do you feel that we have taken your training and integrated what you have taught us into making it work for ourselves? How do you think we've taken your teachings?
Very well, because there's about 5 being trained.
Yeah.
Usually it's 2 or 3. On my last install, it was only 3 guys and it took a whole week. We're barely on day 2. We're pretty much good. We've
Cool.
gone over everything, so
Yeah.
now it's just repetitive motion at this point.
Yeah, I feel very confident. The way you've explained it has been great. I've had to learn a lot of automation here, and I would say you're one of our best technicians to help us
Thank you.
out. So I appreciate your instruction.
Awesome, thank you.
The good word. I guess the good word is we got 1 done. We got some good progress on the second one. So this is the first one. Still need to get it kind of cleaned up, but I just ripped it down with a cutoff disc. And about halfway through, I realized probably would have been better to grab a Plaz and do it that way. Would have been a lot quicker, but that's all right. We're already halfway through this way, so yeah, about time to go home, finally. It's what we do.
So we were working on this jib crane earlier today, trying to get the cord all figured out so we could run it back and forth without any interference. And I think we finally got it. We had a couple issues, but let's give it a run. We'll run it all the way in and see what we got. Uh-oh, we're too fat. We got her tied up. I think what the big issue was is I had too much line going to the front side over here, so I had to take it off this hook, bust off a second one right here, and attach it here. So that way it keeps all the cord to the back side of the stretch instead of having to stretch it all back out. So we should be able to run it all the way in. There we go. Drops down, we hit our bump stops. There's not a whole lot of tension on the line. That means it's not pulling it, which is good. Now let's run out to the south, or the outside edge. Make sure it doesn't catch on the lid. We're gonna get full reach. There we go. We got full reach, and when it's all the way out, the cord's not hanging 20 feet down below the crane, so it won't get tied up in anything we're moving. So I think we're good to go.
All right, Dave, what have you been up to?
So lately we've been building a brand new work table for either the stainless steel shop or the main shop. And lately we've been in the process of straightening out all of these edges on all 4 sides. So we're trying to get it as level as possible. Right now we did it about 4 or 5 times to get all straightened out as much as we can, because even so much as like 3/16 of an inch of a gap between all sides, Rocky definitely would let us know that he's not satisfied with it. So if the boss ain't happy, we're not happy. You can't get it perfectly straight, no matter how hard you try, but if it looks satisfactorily straight, should be okay.
We are in our Baer Welding stainless steel shop. This is where I reside. This shop's warmer in the winter, and it's got a radio and not as many people in it. My day's like doing some work like this or TIG welding and then delivering our projects to different places where sometimes we, like the blaster, where we have a blaster, but a lot of our stuff goes out to get blasted by Legacy.
You like working with Dave?
Oh yeah, Dave's great. He's, he doesn't stop working and he's pretty funny to work with. Yeah, let's go home.
What are you doing?
Trying to park this thing. Where'd you put the keys, senor?
Senor?
Better not tell me you put them in there.
This is my jalopy, and it looks like the keys are completely not in it. I may have hung them up on that door, I hope. Yeah, just follow me around. I'll get fired tomorrow.
Here we have the infamous Mr. Fine.
Caden Fine.
Super cool guy. One of the best guys I know here, seriously.
This just got cut out of the robo where robo rail, we're pushing the limits on this sucker. You can't tell me that's not pretty cool that this machine can do that. Dave, what do you think of this?
Hey, Eric.
Well,
Take a look at that.
Yeah, that is an entirely different concept. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before.
What do you think it is? What does it do?
You have to keep this close to me.
A flute?
It's a flute, Dave.
Yeah, it's a flute.
I think it's actually a 50 cal
I was gonna say,
muzzle brake
what if you
Yeah.
put,
compensator.
I feel like this thing spins around and this is like an old style machine gun.
Yeah.
Just
This is the
about,
thing that spins.
that's just about what it looks like
Yeah.
too, doesn't it? That is remarkable, and that is very precise. I didn't know a machine like that could actually do this.
Jake, where are we at on the rocket stove?
We're getting pretty close. I think we'll have it completed tomorrow. We'll button it up, make it look pretty. We're thinking about making it ornamental, possibly giving it away, but it's all in the works. I don't know yet. I'm gonna cook a steak on it tomorrow. I'll teach you how to cook a perfect medium rare. See you tomorrow, guys. Good morning, guys. It's a new day. Fresh start. I've been grinding. I got here at 6:30. Cameraman doesn't come in till 8. Made a little bit of more progress on this. We got the legs ready to go. The reason why I went with this design with the nuts is I love a level cooking surface. Keep like the butter, whatever your sauce is, in the middle. Doesn't go off to the side. So that way with the nuts, you can kind of level it yourself. Honestly, it's pretty sturdy, so it'll be pretty good. I just gotta put a little pan in the back for your ashes. Look, keep the heat in there. Put some notches right around here. Hey, did you bring those moose steaks? I got some ground beef at home. We can bring it back and cook up. It'll be good. So here's what a morning at Baer Welding looks like. We'll drive in at the parking lot. We'll go up to the board, read your assignment. If you don't know what it is, you'll ask Rocky or someone. Today, I'm doing fence panels. I'm just getting ready for it. But everybody else is different. Like Caden's doing part prep for fence panels. We got a little bit more training. I think I'm good on training, so I think I opted out. I don't know, it's just a pretty chill morning. Everybody takes like 10 minutes just to recuperate, actually wake up, then it's work time. For site work, sometimes it can be the whole shop is out on the site and you're the only person in here working in the shop. You enjoy some peace and quiet. But sometimes everybody's in here, then it's like, sounds like a train station. It's terrible. But we have Gavin, Mike, Luke. You just saw Caden and Jared out on site. So shop's pretty desolate today. I love the peace and quiet when they're all gone. I just get to jam out and just be in my own head.
All right, good morning, everybody. This is day 3 of training on this robo rail. I am still learning how to operate the cutting software. I actually just made a little mistake. I pulled the pipe out of the jaws because it's retracting it back to its home position. But we got Eric here, luckily. He's still working this through, and I guess at the end of the day, it's kind of nice to see how to remedy this problem if it gets skipped when Eric's not here, but I need to learn from my mistakes. Looks like Jake's doing great progress on that rocket stove. Can't wait to have lunch on that. Hopefully that's today, and I keep hearing that there's moose steak involved. Hopefully that's a real thing. Is it, Jake? Have we talked to Caden Fine?
Caden Fine said he would get it.
Okay, we got to follow up on the moose steak, so stay tuned for that. So rocket stoves are not our specialty by any means, but it was a fun project and we had to cut something on the new robo rail, so we felt like a practical project was suitable. We specialize in high-end railing, fence, stairs. We do spiral staircases. We specialize in those kind of high-end custom jobs. For example, we have this giant fence panel that we're trying to build. We're not MIG welding it, we're TIG welding it. That's what the client wants, so that's what the client gets. But this is just an example of all these custom cast iron rings that we had made, where all these little arrows we're putting on. We're implementing all these small little TIG welds like I mentioned. There's a lot of machining. There's some laser cutting that has to happen for these horizontal bars, or these vertical bars, to go through the horizontals. Anyway, that's what we do. A lot of custom, not off the shelf type of builds. So even parts like this, flip that around, Caden. So we actually take a piece of 5/8 square stock and we mill this point on there for a little arrow. We don't buy this stuff, we make this stuff. It's huge. It's for holding a massive gate. This thing will be around for centuries. But again, we didn't buy this, we built this. These are a lot of parts that we have pre-prepped already. These are for those big fence panels. We had a company come through and laser cut these square holes through there. We felt like that was the best because it wasn't causing a lot of warpage and it was quick, but we TIG weld everything. So we got all of this mill scale is getting prepped, getting descaled so that we can have good, suitable, nice looking welds. Gosh, so Baer Welding, in the last 5 years, we have gone and integrated a lot of automation into our day-to-day. Started with our layout table. That was our big, like, game-changing piece of equipment. We got an automated pipe bender. We got a CNC machine. We got this new robo rail. We're starting to go more automated because with how custom a lot of these things we have to build, it's hard to find skilled labor that can mass produce this stuff in a timely manner. So we have integrated all of this automation to help with those processes, to help streamline it and make it so we can get it done in a timely fashion. There's been a lot of people that have made comments about, gosh, with all this automation, is that depleting jobs? I think it's opposite. I think it's creating jobs. We need people that can operate these machines, load the machines. We can focus more on part prep. We can focus more on our unique welding with what the client wants. We can dial in and really focus on what really matters so that we're not spending so much time to try and get a part cut or laid out. We can focus on other areas. So if anything, it's making us have a stronger workforce and more dialed in. It's making our workforce more productive and easier for the guys that go and install it. There's fewer mistakes.
Well, just helping with the production of those big fence panels that we're doing. So you can see you have the holes. That's where the main pickets for the panel go, and then I'm just putting on these little guys. So I'm sure some of you have seen, if you're a comment to this channel, is the mill marks from this. Just taking it, milling it down, you know, working on these pickets. Got to put them in. The fun part is making sure you can see right now it's not staying in straight at all, right? Like if I just weld it out right there, terrible quality. Nobody wants that. So that's honestly what takes the longest, is getting these all in place so they're nice and straight and they're not kinked at weird angles, and when you look down you see them all flush. So just using TIG because we want it to look nice and clean. Main process is tacking them, making sure they're all in line, then we'll go through, do a full weld out, and that's kind of the gist of what I'm doing today. So when I first started, a lot of it was you were handed a job, here's the prints, right? And you would see it start to end. And I think part of that is our focus, our clientele's changed a lot, because we used to just do almost purely residential. Every once in a while you'd have a little commercial job, but now it's pretty much, we mainly do commercial, and we have a few contacts that we'll still do residential with. And so now the jobs are much bigger, so we've kind of changed our processes. Now we have a software that kind of tracks from start to finish. So like even just this piece will probably see 4 different hands by the time it's done, not including our painters or installers. So, you know, we had somebody make the initial cuts. We send this somewhere to get laser cut to get these, just because the plasma cutters are, you know, they leave a lot more chatter. So it's just a lot cleaner. And then we have Dave, who runs it through the mill, And then, you know, like I'm putting on these little arrowheads, then it'll go to probably Jake or Danny who's gonna do the final weld out, right? And so just as the scale has changed, we have had to change our processes, and so it kind of evolves and grows, and if you're not adapting, then you're falling behind, right? So
right now we're still in the last bits of our training. We're just cutting pipe. Just repeating the process over and over again just to get the hang of the machine and the programming. I can see us making some lighted handrail in the future. How am I picking it up? Picking it up pretty good. I can at least program on the computer and get things cut. So I feel pretty confident about that. I want to draw on detailed stairs and run them through this and make life a lot easier. Cool thing about this machine is I think it's limitless in what we could do, but the program right now is kind of limited, but the great thing about it is it can also be upgraded, and we can do more and more on it in the future.
Taking a jog out in the yard right now. Quinn came up with a design for the griddle that the pan's gonna sit on. We're gonna take some big angle iron, cut 2 little slivers, weld the noses together, and put it on the chute, I guess you would say. We should have like 2 more pieces to do, then we'll be cooking on it at lunchtime. We're gonna get the monster truck out and fish it out of there. We got some bazookas over there that are gonna block our way, so we're gonna reach in there with the monster truck. Probably won't hear me that well because it screams, but it's our only option. Monster truck was fun. I love driving that thing around. I feel like a little kid playing with his gravedigger again.
This is my first time seeing the Robo Rail in action. Pretty excited. Feels like Christmas.
It's going to cut about 1 inch off the end. That is how it knows where the end of the pipe is, because it's creating it. It's like, okay,
Cool.
now we're 0.
Yeah,
It just
that's really
created 0.
Heck yeah.
Now it's like, okay, our part's gonna have our slot in it, dead center, and it's rotating that thing. And then
So
it's like,
cool.
okay, we brought in the conveyor on its own. It's gonna cut it off, drop it on the conveyor, and then feed it back out to us.
Cool. Amazing.
That was my first successful
cool.
run, so that was good.
Yeah. I like that it kind of takes the difficulty of part processing out of it. I just think the timing is really what's cool about it. And that would have taken us at least 15 minutes to lay out. And then to get it set up and cut, probably another 15 minutes, so 30 minutes for one part that we just saw it take maybe 3 seconds. Pretty amazing. Definitely pipe, the copes, flat bar, bevels, miters. I think that'll probably be the #1 thing that we see. Obviously, we're going to start trying to streamline some smaller structural stairs, small columns, things like that. So, you know, that's not really our niche, but with this new machine, maybe it can be.
I'm Dev Dog. We're back here with another post. Here's actually some finish work so you guys can kind of see what goes on in the bondoing world. But like I've said in previous videos, getting all the imperfections out of there, making them nice, look good, kind of make it look part of the cast so it's not fully, you know, like it was bonded completely. Other than that, it's just kind of waiting on Justin to finish one up. Then he's going to be taking this one today, and then, I don't know, maybe on site on Monday. All right, let's go to Justin's area. Go bug him for a minute. Hi, Justin! Walk inside here real quick. We're keeping it hot in here. He just literally got this one painted. It's with a custom oxidized paint that has zinc in it, so it helps it stick to it better, less rusting. But this is to us a finished product before it goes on the job site. Once it hits the job site, I really don't know what happens to it. It just leaves here. So this one is one of the ones with another worker. I've been teaching on these, how to do them. So this one, we had to do a huge inner core. This is actually one of the simple inner cores because we got more gappage in there to allow more play with the tube. Unlike my 10-inch posts, same size as center core, but my gaps on the outside are different to where we only have a 3/8 total play in the other ones, and it's not a lot. So any imperfection of where the seam is, where they put them together, all that stuff fights us all the way through and through on this if it's in there. And that's just part of the name of the game. Big Boys Club. So right now you can see, you know, areas that we bondoed. The reason why that is because basically Bondo is a powder. You put water form in powder, it's going to dry up quicker. You're going to see it more noticeable, but as you can see, some of the areas that are starting to dry up, they're becoming almost the same color as that Bondo. It disappears for good.
So right now I'm plasing out a little tray to keep the ashes, you know, just scoop them out. I love this plas. This makes my life so much easier. If I didn't have this, I'd be cutting out everything with an oxyacetylene torch or a plasma torch. This just makes my life so much simpler, saves so much time, measurements, whatnot. So yeah, just go ahead and plas it out. Just like that, we're about an hour away. It's almost 11, and I'm getting hungry.
So we're in uncharted territory right now. Got the rocket stove, and we're about to put some wood and briquettes in this bad boy. Let's see what kind of a flame we can get kicking and rolling out of this thing. Briquettes are not that easy to find at Macy's. Yeah, it was like down like the baby aisle or some crazy thing.
All right, guys, we got it rolling pretty good. We take this pan off. You can sort of see the flames coming out. It's hot. We're getting ready to cook. I got the cast iron, good old cast iron. None of that Teflon crap. You'll die. Just like that, we're cooking. There's one thing I always forget cooking, camping. It's a spatula. I've used sticks, hot dog rods. You get pretty crafty. You just gotta make sure you don't melt it. Basically my design, I kind of went pretty long on the feed tube and the inlet tube. That way I didn't want the flames kind of reaching out there because you'll see short feed-in tubes and I didn't want the flames to come out. So I made this pretty long. So it gives us a long chute. We still need to add on flaps because we made like an air restriction right here. Your inlet needs to be smaller than your exhaust. Looks like it's shafting pretty good. That's what we wanted. We wanted efficient airflow. It's definitely reached that. It's cooking hot. Here I say a little too hot for what I usually cook with. But it's cool to see that the heat patterns on there. It gets super hot right in that middle. That's perfect. Wow. Powerful.
Dave, what do you think of this thing?
Yeah, I've never seen this before.
First patty, I'm gonna bite into her. I'm hungry.
I've never seen one in person like this before.
Think you could use one of these?
You know, it's since it's very portable in the way it is right now, why not?
Boss is here. He wants to check out the rocket stove.
Wow. We're thinking about selling these. They're gonna be called Baer Grills.
Baer Grills. Love it.
Oh, heck yeah.
The real bosses are here.
Yeah, that's the way to do it right there.
What do you think?
Pretty cool.
That could be a cool giveaway.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Ian, what do you think?
I really like it. When's mine? I like cheese.
We just scraped off all the debris from the burgers. Now we're gonna get ready for the moose meat.
Awesome. Can't wait for it.
I need a fresh fork.
Okay, I need a fresh fork.
Okay, here we go. One moose.
2 moose. I couldn't be more surprised at how well it cooks meat. Like, it's perfect.
The only issue is I want to use weld block. So if you painted it, you probably have to drill in half of it because the weld block's lifted up and then flat.
Just took a bite of that steak. I want a whole pound of that at home. It's so good.
Dude, I'm a believer in moose.
I feel like it tastes better on like a stove, like outside. You get like fresh air in there. I don't know. It's amazing though.
You can't mess this up. Yeah. There's no messing this up at all.
People are liking the moose. It's good stuff. It's cool because it's like there's really no fat on this animal, and so it's just pure lean muscle. It kind of like looks weird, and it's definitely not a cow. It doesn't taste like a cow at all because there's really no fat on it, but it's good. And this meat is like the best meat for you, just wild, pure, not filled with medicines and stuff and steroids or whatever they put in cows. It's just pure good for you.
What is that thing you got going on there?
This is called a rocket stove. Yep.
A rocket stove.
Trent,
You like moose?
I've never had moose.
Try
Is
it.
it good? You better not lie. It better not be dog.
Duke's still around.
All
So is
right.
Dino.
That's good.
You like it?
Yeah. Is that yours?
No. It's from Canada.
I've had one chase me. Yeah.
This is revenge, Trent. I knew one day you'd be able to get your revenge back on Moose.
Yeah.
His brother.
7 miles northeast of Hardware on our property.
Oh yeah.
Chased my through the trees.
They shouldn't even call that.
Thank God he had horns. Couldn't get through the trees.
Perfect.
Wood,
Appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you guys hanging out and watching how we do things here at Baer Welding. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Catch you guys on the next one.
I think so. Except for Devin. Devin was like, I don't want that.
No, he didn't say that.
Devin? Yeah.